Shannon Sharpe heard what Ray Lewis had to say about him, and here is his response.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to well, we call you normies.
A few days ago, Ray Lewis went on the Patrick Bet-David show, and the topic came up of entertainment and sports, specifically Shannon Sharpe and how his career has taken a turn in recent months for the worse, but not a complete failure, okay? And Ray Lewis, was giving his take on what he thought about Shannon Sharpe and I guess their camaraderie in recent years. And the things that he had to say wasn't very positive. And Shannon Sharpe heard what he had to say, that he changed whatever since leaving the gridiron and going into media. And this is what Shannon Sharpe had to say. This is on the Nightcap show with Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson. And we're going to listen to what Shannon Sharpe had to say in response to Ray Lewis's comment or opinion. All right. So we're going to get into it. This is on YouTube. Of course, I'll leave a link to it in the description box. Before we get into the reaction, fair use.
That's why you don't accept things in a win you wouldn't in a loss, because you're setting a bad precedent. You're setting I'm telling you, you let guys guys come in overweight, Ocho, and they're a pound or two overweight, and you win. You're like, hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Sooner or later, that 2 pounds going to turn to 5. 5 going to turn to 10. And then when it comes, because guess what? Most places that do get cold, and you don't lose weight as easily as when it's hot. Now, yeah. Miami might be a different situation. Arizona, some places like that. But you start playing in New York, or you play in Baltimore, you play in Cincinnati, you play in places where it gets cold, Ocho, and you're not running around like that. It gets harder and harder. I think that's one of the best thing, one of the best lessons that Mike Shanahan told me, and it stuck with me, and here we are 30-plus years later. 84, I'll never accept anything in a win I wouldn't in a loss. That effort that you gave me there, I wouldn't accept, no. The meeting, punctuality, and you can appreciate that. But like I said, I got nothing bad to say. Because a lot of things when you tolerate it, I'm gonna go ahead and say my thing. Whatever transpired, I'll bite my tongue, I'll be the bigger person. I'll walk away, hey, you right. Because you know why, Ocho? It's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know how I know? Because your boy, you looking at him, he low-hanging fruit. And there are a lot of people taking your shot at your boy.
Come on now.
Y'all can have it.
Now, they started this conversation off. The topic in this particular segment of the show was talking about Micah Parsons and his departure from the Dallas Cowboys. And then they went into talking about, contracts and, player discipline and things like that. And like Shannon was saying, he wouldn't accept anything in a win that he would accept in a loss. You're talking about Mike Shanahan, one of his former coaches. And that kind of, moved into the subliminal, response to Ray Lewis. And so that's what they are talking about at this very moment.
Got it. Y'all got me. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. We're going to be all right, OJ.
Yeah.
That tribute say we're going to be all right.
Yeah, listen, I could have told you that. I could tell you, I've been telling you that.
Yeah.
So
everybody want to pile on. Everybody jump on now. Hey, we got him down, Ocho. We got him down. The best time to, hey, let me get my lick now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to get a lick now because when your boy was doing good, you hear a lot of people that have a whole lot to say. Not everybody got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Sure, you're right on that.
Enemy spotted.
When Shannon was up, and don't get me wrong, there were a lot of people that were starting to shade Shannon Sharpe once that whole thing came out with the interview with Cat Williams, and a lot of these comedians, specifically D.L. Hughley and DJ Vlad and a lot of other people had, stuff to say about Shannon Sharpe because I guess the person he was interviewing was talking about other people. And there's been other guests that came on the show that, had things to say about other people in a negative way. Well, that's not on Shannon. Shannon's not purposely bringing people on for a drama. He's asking questions like any interviewer would, and things come up. Shannon's not going to tell them don't talk about that because he probably doesn't even know half of the people that they're referring to. And it gets more ratings. These people know how entertainment works. But then they want to come back and they want to put the blame or the responsibility on Shannon Sharpe for why a particular guest is, throwing shade, talking down on somebody. So you won't go at Cat Williams, but you'll go at Shannon Sharpe because he's, the lightest target, if you will. He's the softest target. But you wouldn't confront Cat Williams about none of the stuff he said. And none of these guys did. Cedric the Entertainer, all these people. None of them went at the actual comedian or the entertainer, whoever it was he brought on. They just all went at Shannon Sharpe. And so now that Shannon Sharpe is, down bad for a little while, now everybody wants to say it, tell him I told you so. Which really, their hate, their, disdain is very much misplaced. But that's another story about, haters.
We're going to be all right. Ocho, former Panthers running back Mike Davis, talked about his.
And so they're on to the next topic. But again, I'll leave a link to this in the description box with a timestamp where y'all can, start. Or, I think they have timestamps in the video. But anyway, the segment starts off talking about Micah Parsons. So you can go from there. It's about maybe 20 minutes. Only wanted to play this particular segment. But y'all understand what's going on here, right? And shout out to Ocho Cinco for staying down with Shannon Sharpe because Ocho's living a simple life. I think this is one of the few shows he actually does. Sometimes it's on ESPN. But Ocho Cinco's living his best life. He comes over here. They have great chemistry with Shannon Sharpe. They've been had it for a while. I'm glad this show is still flourishing. Yeah, it's not being talked about as much as it used to be. But make no mistake, Shannon Sharpe's still making money. He's took some financial L's. And he's gonna have to recover from this, of course. But like Shannon said, I think they're gonna be all right. And with that being said, thanks for attending another episode of Welcome to Normieville. And let me know down in the comment section what you think about Shannon Sharpe. And everybody that's come out and has their opinion about Shannon Sharpe, now that he's faced all these lawsuits, now they're talking about how he was dating younger women and how he shouldn't have had this particular guest on his show and all blah, blah, blah. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Please, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I'll see you on the next video.